Ciao everybody, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone, and do not adjust your screens. The Prince of Positivity is back on the Bianconeri Zone. It's me, Julian. Welcome to myself back on the channel, and I hope that everyone is doing well. The past 2 weeks I've been away on my honeymoon and then at a bachelor party. So now we're back into the swing of things. During the 2 weeks that I was gone, first I'd like to address Milik and Filip Kostic were brought into the club. So before that, I was doing the daily news shows, and I was going off of, we were getting Memphis Depay, Filip Kostic, and Leandro Paredes before the start of the season. Well, it's now 3 games in, and we have Milik and Kostic. Not Depay, not Paredes. We got Kostic, but it's been very, very weird, and the whole, not weird. It's been I'm not gonna say a poop show either, but for the most part, it's been not what we Juventini have expected, especially 2 weeks ago when everything was actually looking decent in terms of the players we were probably bringing in. So today's show, we're going to go over my thoughts of the game yesterday. One more time, it's going to be really quick. Roma Juventus, I'm just going to give you my 2 or 3 thoughts on it. And then we're going to get into the Pogba stuff. We have to get into the Pogba stuff because it's crazy what's going on there in the whole situation. I'm going to be reading verbatim what the one reporter laid out in black and white. You can also go check out what they said on our Twitter account at Bianconeri Zone. So I'm going to be reading off strictly from that. And I'm not going to give a formalized take per se because this is the very beginning of the story. We don't know exactly what is going to, or what transpired with the Pogba situation yet. I will comment on what we have. And then after the Pogba stuff, we'll get into the rest of the Mercado, what we can expect, what can you expect on this channel in particular in the next 4 days leading up to the deadline, and what we see in the future, what happens with the club. So thank you, Lester, for saying welcome back, mate, and Kareem saying good to see you back. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Like the video if you haven't already. If we get, I don't know if Justin and Ali have been doing this, but if we get 100 likes today, we're going to bring in a player we are not linked to yet. We're going to bring a player we are not linked to yet into the club by deadline day. So, Justin, no, I am the Prince of Positivity. I just named myself that, Justin. So let's get into it. First and foremost, well, I was going to say, okay, about Roma and Juventus. Yesterday, obviously, everyone knows I didn't watch what Alejandro had to say after the game when he did his live, so I don't know what he said, but I'll give my thoughts. Yesterday, Roma, Juventus was very, very good in the first half. Like, everyone knows that. We were very good. We didn't create enough chances, and we didn't capitalize on enough chances. So a complete 180 from what happened on Monday, match day 2 against Sampdoria, because we were lifeless in that match. So great to see the change of pace in the first half against Roma. Second half, I think we lacked depth at this moment in time because half our starting 11 is injured. But at the same time, Jose Mourinho made 2 changes at halftime and completely changed the way Roma was playing. We, as a club, Allegri, did not react to it. I don't know if he thought that we could just keep up the same way of playing against a different formation. I'm not sure what he was thinking. I can't comment. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not in the locker room. I'm not in his head. I'm not on the touchline seeing what he's seeing. So I think Jose Mourinho changing their shape to a 4-2-3-1 helped them out, nullify and neutralize our pressing, our ability to find pockets of space, because in the first half, you saw Moretti get into loads of pockets of space. You saw Rabiot even actually dictate some play. And then you saw even Locatelli do very well in the first half. Second half, I think Cristante and Matic sat way deeper. So, again, first half, second half, it was a very clear difference in style of play. But at the same time, we should have buried them. I'm going to go back to the Cuadrado chance in the first half where Moretti made the pass to Cuadrado and he made a really shit first touch. That's got to be 2-0. That's got to be game over. I don't know if this is repetition of what was said yesterday, but at this point in time, I'm saying that it should have been 2-0, game's over. Roma chase us, and we're going to play keep ball. But I'm sorry, Cuadrado, he ain't it. He's not. He's got to go. I'm not impressed with him whatsoever. There's obviously other players where, like, you can talk about Zakaria, you can talk about McKennie who need to go. Was Alexandro a problem yesterday? In that one flash of a moment when we got scored on, yes, it continues to be the back post errors that he makes. However, it sucks that that's the best we got. DeShilio, was he good enough? No. Kostic, was he good enough? No. But our midfield is actually good until we had to make the subs in the second half. And I thought for what he was and the amount of touches he had, I thought Vlahovic was very good. But again, Vlahovic's play with his back to goal is still not good enough. His first touch with his back to goal is like me passing the ball passing the ball off that wall. We have no idea where it's going to go. It's worse. It's worse than that. So Vlahovic still needs to work on that. I think Milik's entrance into the game, you see what Allegri likes in Milik. And again, I'm doing the coach's corner tonight. So now I'm back on the Bianconeri. I'm home now. I'm back on the Bianconeri zone, and they're making me work overtime now. I got to do Milik coach's corner. I got to do probably a Paredes coach's corner a couple days from now, and I'm on here live. So I'm going to be doing the Milik coach's corner tonight, and that is one of his strengths. That is one of his strengths. That's all I'll say. Remember, I'm the prince of positivity on this channel. No idea why McKennie plays right midfield. No idea why we switched to a 4-4-2. No idea why Moise Kean is still in the club. I saw a report today, and I'll get into this later on. We also saw the I'm going to butcher his name, Amine Guiri link today. We all saw that. It was shut down in like 30 minutes. We got linked to him, or some random French reporter linked us to him. Romeo Gresti shut us down right away. Apparently, though, we proposed a Kean swap for Guiri. I think that could have been good. Obviously, Nice didn't want that, or Kean didn't want that. Because if it was Juventus proposing that, obviously they wanted that. So it was either Kean that said no to Nice, or Nice that said no to Juve for that. Fair. Fair enough. But Moise Kean, useless. We have a bunch of useless players, and we have like 5 good players. And I think we know that. And I think you saw that realization come out yesterday, because those 5 players played really well and carried us for a bit. Like, Bremer was excellent. Locatelli was very good. Miretti was good. Dusan Vlahovic was good. And that, okay, 4. But they carried us for the first half, and we were very good. It couldn't carry into the second half. Again, tactics changed everything. Substitutes changed everything. So it is what it is. Not a good point. I don't care if people are saying, oh, it's a good point with half our team missing. No. Those are the games where you capitalize in the first 25 minutes and you go up 2-0 and you kill the game off. That's it. And you get 3 points. That's what good teams do. Good teams don't let other teams come back into the game or have a chance to come back into the game, because Roma didn't do anything. Roma had obviously their goal. But again, and I wanted to get into something after that too. I see on social media that expected goals, that tweet or Twitter account, and I see that or whatever. Expected goals is nice if you understand what it means. Expected goals is something where Roma had more expected goals than we did. Did they outplay us? No, that doesn't mean that. Expected goals mean they had better clear-cut chances, but they didn't outplay Juventus. They had their goal from 3 yards out from Abraham, which is that XG, whatever you want to call it, is very high, so that adds to their tally. And they had another Abraham shot from like just inside the box, which was saved by Szczesny. But they created more goal-scoring opportunities than Juventus did, which is true, but they didn't outplay Juventus. So I saw that bandied about, and then Roma fans saying, "Oh yeah, we did this. We had more expected goals, yada yada." No, if you understand what the stat means, you'll know that you have to watch the game to understand what's going on and to see what the stat means. Also, we only have 20 likes. I know Justin and Ali weren't trying to get likes for goals, or a like goal. Let's get to 100, and we're gonna get a player coming in by deadline day that we're currently not linked to. So that's what we're doing today. So get the likes in. We're over 50 people now, and we only have 21 likes. So let's do it. Excuse me for one second. A little under the weather. A lot of moving around past couple weeks. So, final thoughts on the game. It's a shame we didn't kill the game off early in the first half. It's a shame that we dropped 2 points to a team that we're battling with for the top 4. And it's a shame that we see that there's a massive issue and there's not of depth, and we're not doing much about it. Well, we'll see this last week. Okay, so that brings us to, well, our next game's on Wednesday, just to let everyone know, against Spezia, the 31st of August. So there's that. And now we'll go to the Pogba stuff, because that's some pertinent information. So, if you go to the Juventus, or the Bianconeri Zone Twitter account, Alejandro did he did the whole thread of what Zach Lowy had to say. Zach Lowy is I don't know if he's a reporter, but he has information about the Paul Pogba news, and then it's been verified and corroborated by many other sources. So go check out the Twitter account because I'm about to read it, and it might be boring, but you can follow along if you go on our Twitter account. So, Paul Pogba news. He's dealing with an injury currently, as we all know. He was at the stadium yesterday. We saw that. And this story's kind of crazy. The story's actually kind of crazy. It's the classic tale of your blood is your family, or your blood is you're related to them, but they're not your family. I don't know if I said that saying right, but something along those lines. I'm tired. Give me a break. So Zach Lowy starts by saying this. The French authorities are investigating a case of attempted extortion by an organized gang with regards to Paul Pogba. Pogba has told police that he was trapped by childhood friends and 2 hooded men with assault rifles who demanded 13 million euros from him. That's crazy. It doesn't even matter if it's Paul. If it's Joe Blow on the street, 2 guys with assault rifles and hoods. 2 guys with assault rifles and hoods, and childhood friends trap Paul Pogba. That's just the beginning. Apart from childhood friends, one of the alleged gang members is his brother Matthias Pogba. So his bro is a gang member. That's crazy. He used to play in Ligue 1, I think. And same with his other bro, Florentine. Like, these guys used to play professional football as well. Now they're gang members. They have attempted to intimidate him on various occasions, even visiting him at the Juventus training center. Now this is where Juventus gets involved, obviously. So at Contenassa, Juventus have a training session. Paul Pogba's there. Locatelli's there. 18-year-old Moretti's there. And he sees, I guess, gang members come up to the field. But they don't know that, obviously, at the time, because it's Paul Pogba thinks, it's just my bro and his buddies and my old childhood friends. Like that. That's crazy. They say in life that you see like 6 murderers throughout your whole lifetime. Well, who knows? Even my dog's getting pissed off about this. Zach Lowy goes on to report, between March 25th and March 29th, when France hosted the Ivory Coast in South Africa in 2 friendlies, Paul Pogba visited his family in Langy-sur-Marne. So that's where Paul Pogba grew up. Right? His mom, if you guys watched the Pogmentary, you've seen it. Okay, boo, stop. I'm telling a story. So as he visited his parents and his hometown family, or his hometown. His friends then took him to an apartment in Paris where they accused him of not helping him financially since turning pro. That's crazy. Imagine your buddy, he's a multimillionaire now, and you're like, yo, can you give me some money? Like, what are you talking about? That's crazy. In this meeting, 2 armed men asked Pogba for 13 million euros for services rendered, stating that they had protected him discreetly for 13 years. This is crazy. Pogba has told investigators that he saw these blackmailers on several occasions, including Manchester in April and Juve's training ground in July. So they're just following him all over the world. It was here in Turin where Pogba recognized his brother Matthias and then approached Juve's lawyers, who decided to notify the police. So again, this is where Juventus is involved. Juventus' lawyers have obviously took this upon themselves, which is good. You're backing, obviously, you have to back your player. And they're doing the right thing here. From what I see, they're doing the right thing here. During the investigation, Paul stated that he has always been close to his childhood friends and never hesitated to help them out financially until January, when he kicked out a friend that he was hosting in Manchester. This friend used Paul's credit card to steal 200,000 euros. So no shit that he's not helping out these friends anymore. This is crazy. This is all kinds of crazy. This comes a day after Matthias Pogba released a video on social media. I don't know if you guys saw that, his little stupid TikTok. Matthias Pogba released a video on social media that promised explosive revelations about Paul. In quotations, it says, this has come from Matthias: "When you are famous, the world is with you. The authorities listen more attentively, but that doesn't put you above the law. The police aren't your minions." So going off on that, why would Paul Pogba report his brother, Matthias Pogba, to the police if he didn't think something was tragically wrong? Who makes up that story for Matthias to go on to say, nah, that never happened. Don't believe everything you see. The police only believe the guy who's reporting it. Like, are you kidding me? Matthias Pogba, again, this is all we know on the surface level at this point. We don't know anything else at this point. We just know what this report is saying. It goes on to say, the blackmailers attempted to discredit Paul by broadcasting messages that Paul Pogba asked a witch doctor to cast a spell on Kylian Mbappe, something Paul Pogba vehemently denies. This is crazy. This is the craziest part. Apparently, Paul Pogba went out to a witch doctor and said, please curse Kylian Mbappe. And this witch doctor is one of his buddies. This is crazy. And this is new info. Up until March, Matthias and Paul were very close, with Matthias organizing an event. Oh, they're very close with each other, with Matthias organizing an event at Paris' Shangri-La Hotel for his charity. Paul, who is one of the charity's biggest donors, attended the event March 20th. So that's what we have on Paul Pogba and the investigations going on there for blackmail, extortion, all that stuff. So this is due to Paul Pogba not giving money to his friends, I guess. I don't know. And because Paul Pogba asked his buddy, who's a witch doctor, to put a spell on, a curse on Kylian Mbappe. You can't make this stuff up. This is crazy. But again, I think Paul Pogba doesn't need this. I think somebody wrote that in here. Sam Love said, Juve doesn't need this BS. Like, Paul Pogba doesn't need this BS. Why is his brother doing this to him? Or apparently doing this stuff out to him? We'll follow the story as it goes along, but it's just, it's crazy. It's the craziest thing I've read in years pertaining to a player. So I hope this doesn't affect his on-field performance. I don't think it will, because I think Paul Pogba was just naturally talented enough, and he's good enough just to make this stuff not bother him. So I think he'll be okay. whenever he does get on the pitch, which apparently is soon. I think it's going to be mid-September, or even earlier. So that's good news. But what do you guys think about the Paul Pogba news? Mohammed saying some Harry Potter type shit. Yeah, absolutely. Just crazy things are happening in Juventus. I saw a video of Pavel Nedved apparently walking drunk. It's hella boosted. Sorry, how's that? Is that better? Let me know if that's better, Khalid. Let me know what you guys think about the Paul Pogba situation. Let me know what you guys think of Kareem Salim saying, I don't think the spell is working. I think it worked today because he missed an empty net. Mbappe. So yeah, Paul Pogba in a weird investigation legal battle right now. I don't know what minus 15 dB means. How does this sound? Does this sound better? I hope it sounds better. Anyway, moving on now to the transfer news. And there's still a lot of stuff to do in this last week. I'm going to announce something at the end of today's video pertaining to the transfer week upcoming and what this channel will be doing. So, as we know, we got Milik. As you know, we got Kostic in. We know that in the future, Leandro Paredes will be here either tomorrow and or Tuesday. Master G saying, where can I see the Nedved video? Honestly, I forget what account it was. If you go onto J Twitter at all, you can see a guy with blonde. You don't see his face, the person's face, but it looks like Nedved's curly blonde hair, and it looks like the way he walks, because Nedved has a very specific type of walk. So it looks like him, and he's just juiced out of his mind, walking down a city center. But going back to Paredes, he did not play today. Actually, I only watched the 90th minute because then I had to prepare for this. But he did not play. He didn't get in when I was watching. So I think that he's coming. I think that that deal's done. I also think, I don't like to admit it. No, I don't want to admit it because it's happening. But I don't like that Rovella is leaving. But Rovella is probably leaving. Arthur, as we saw from Nico Schira today, he tweeted out that Porto... Oh, who's the other team? Lyon. Porto and Lyon. Porto and Lyon will be sniffing around Arthur today or this week. I think at this point, if they pay even 20% of his salary, you send him out. What's the use of keeping him and not playing him? So at least if they're paying 20%, just get him out. Roster spot good. And we're good from there. So I hope he goes to Porto or Lyon. I don't really care, but one of those teams. And that's sorted out as soon as possible. Paredes will be coming in. The coach's corner will be probably made tomorrow night, so it'll probably be around Tuesday or Wednesday when it drops. Another thing about coach's corners, I made a Memphis Depay one, and I'm really pissed off that he didn't sign, because now I have to go do Arcadius Milik one, and that's not as fun. So RIP to my Memphis Depay coach's corner. So going back to the Mercato, I think Rovella's out. I think Arthur's out. I don't know if McKennie or Zakaria will be sold. I really hope one of them is sold, because they just look not up for it. At this point, Rabiot, as much as it pains every Juventus fan to say it, Rabiot is more useful than those two, from what we've seen so far. And don't get me wrong, Rabiot's been bad too, but he was fine for like 35 minutes yesterday. And then when Zakaria came on, he was and McKennie's just bad. McKennie's just bad. So Paredes coming in, good. Locatelli, Moretti can play as Metzalis for now. I'm not being too harsh on McKennie. McKennie does not know. McKennie's technical ability is probably a bottom feeder Premier League club level. His technical ability. I'm not saying his usefulness on a soccer field. I'm saying his technical ability is probably a bottom feeder in the Premier League level. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying that he's useless, but that's he is who he is. If you can turn a profit on him, which I'm pretty sure you can, get him out. Because it's clear to me that Moretti, Locatelli, and Pogba, there's 3 central midfielders who are all Metzalas, are better than McKennie. So what's the use of keeping a fourth? If you have Paredes as your holder, as your regista, like the pecking order, he's way down it now. I think the rise, again, when you say rise of Moretti, it's been 7 games. The rise of Moretti has made McKennie and kind of, at least one of the two, expendable. Because he adds something different to that midfield. Gabriel S. is saying, is Paredes good? Never seen him play. I'm doing a coach's corner on him, but Paredes is very good, and he'll be... Okay, sorry, I said very good. Paredes is good. He'll serve up a good... he'll be in a good role for us. He'll be in a good role for us, allowing our better players to push up. So, it's a good signing, especially because it's relatively cheap. I don't know what the contract is, but it's a relatively cheap transfer fee. I think it's 5 plus 15 total. So, I don't think it's an obligation yet. We'll see tomorrow when the Here We Go is announced. We'll see Tuesday, maybe, whenever it's announced. But I think adding Paredes in, you bump up Locatelli, you have Pogba, you have Moretti. I think that's a nice balanced team. That's a nice balanced midfield. That's probably one of the better midfields in the league, where our midfield was probably mid-table last year in terms of quality. Unfortunately, the sacrificial lamb here is Ravella, but I think if Allegri really, really wants Paredes, Ravella needs to go out on loan and play. I think that's the best for him. Would I like him to stay at the club and play, I don't know, 10 to 15 games, and then obviously all the other games he'll come on as a sub? Sure. Is that good for his development? Not sure. I also think that because once you see in the coach's corner, Paredes, he gets injured sometimes. I'm not saying a lot. I'm saying sometimes. So if Paredes gets injured when he comes here and Ravella's gone, and it's still Locatelli playing as a regista, that's a flop. That's a major mistake. Not a mistake, because you can't predict injuries, but that's a major faux pas. Sherman's asking, can you compare Paredes' quality to other players in Europe? Like, is Paredes as good as Jorginho? No, he's not. Are we comparing to Jorginho now because Jorginho's lost a couple steps from a year and a half ago? He's better. Paredes is currently better than Jorginho now, because I think Jorginho's lost he's declined significantly. So I think Paredes defensively, in terms of, when I say defensively, I say in terms of reading the game, is not as good as Jorginho. But Paredes, with the ball, is more accurate with passes. And all Paredes has to do at Juventus is win the ball and pass to Locatelli or Pogba or Chiesa. He doesn't have to try and play balls over the top, because you got other midfielders to do that. He can do it, but he's got other players to do that. So his role is literally going to be collect the ball from the defenders when we have the ball. His role is going to be collect the ball from the defenders, get it to the better players. We saw how hard it was against Sampdoria for Locatelli to get himself open to receive passes and build from the back. We saw how hard it was. I'm not saying Paredes will do a better job because I haven't seen him play with Juventus yet. So I'm not saying that Paredes will do a better job than what Locatelli did against Sampdoria. But you have to understand that his experience, listen, he plays for PSG, he plays in the Argentine national team, he starts for Argentina. He's not bad. He's not. I don't know where everyone gets this notion that he's a bad player. He's not a bad player. He's actually pretty good. He starts with the Argentine national team, who just won a Copa America and is probably a contender for the World Cup. He starts. He does well. He doesn't start for PSG right now. Well, firstly because he's on his way to Juventus. Secondly, his role is currently the starter, and that his role on that team is Verratti, and he's not better than Verratti. So of course he's not going to start. I think people are seeing, oh, he doesn't play a lot, la 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 la. When he does play and he does go on the field, he rarely loses the ball. He's very neat and tidy with the ball, and he does play forward. Is his defensive game the best? Not really. He's adequate defensively. So at the end of the day, I have been in support of Paredes coming the sole transfer window, mostly because it frees up Locatelli. But at the same time, like, Paredes is a good regista. Well, he will be a good regista in Serie A for Juventus. Sam Love disagrees with me. He's not the same player as Verratti. So Verratti doesn't go and tackle the ball and play forward. I think he does do that. Anyway, we can agree to disagree. 71 people in here. We're still 59 likes away from the random Juventus player signing before deadline day. So if we get 100 likes, we sign a random player, and it's going to happen because it always works. But going back to our transfer, the last week of the transfer window. So as we said, Arthur hopefully going to Porto or Lyon as reported by Nico Schira. Rovella is most likely on his way out to Monza. Are we going to get a shock attacker coming in? I don't think so, unless Moise Kean leaves, which I don't think so. And then left back, because I saw someone bring left back up again earlier in today's show. Renan Lodi was there for the taking. Renan Lodi was like right there. Atletico was like, yeah, we'll loan him out now. And Nottingham Forest said, hey, we'll take him. But Juventus said, no, we won't take him. Excuse me. Going into that further, I don't know if we can take this literally or whatever. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, Max Allegri was saying that he's going to keep Danilo as a center back, or his future. Danilo's future is centrally. So now when you think about it, you got De Sciglio, Sandro, and that's it. Because right now Cuadrado's a winger, really shit winger at that. And if you're playing Danilo as a central mid or defender, what the hell is going on here? We are starved for fullbacks, and we've known this. It doesn't help that the injuries up front mean Cuadrado has to play up front. It doesn't help that Bonucci being injury prone means Danilo. Anas is saying, is this live going to go for 5 hours? No, it's actually going to stop in 26 minutes. Danilo is now a central defender. So we lack depth in the fullback position, and we know that. We know that this is like repetition since, I don't know, 2 years ago. We've been saying this. The fact that we haven't addressed, or like we did address it, but we sent the dude out on loan to Bologna. which is crazy because he sucked yesterday against Milan, by the way. I don't know if anybody watched that. So I don't know what's going to happen in the next 4 days. I think something definitely needs to happen. I think Gabriel S. said, Nico Shearer said we won't be getting a left back, but I saw that like a couple weeks ago we were getting a left back. I don't know. Who actually knows at this point? So it's going to be an interesting 4 days. We know that in the past, at this club, under this management, a lot of stuff happens in the last week of transfer windows. Let's recall back to last year when Ronaldo left, and then we had to get Keane, and then we got Ihataren randomly when we had no money. January, we all know what happened in January. We sold Kulusevski, Bentancur, we got Vlahovic, Zakaria, and Gatti. All in the last weeks of those transfer windows. I don't expect anything major to happen this one. I don't expect a marquee signing, obviously. But we know Paredes is coming in. We know Ravella's most likely leaving. Arthur's most likely leaving. So that's already 3 transactions. I think we still need another one in our defense. But yeah. Look, what is our biggest need right now? What is the biggest need right now? Also, I have not a hot take. It's not a hot take, but Brian has a weird question, and I might address it later. But I have a hot take that once Chiesa is available, I believe that Kostic will play left back. The more I watch him play, and the more I watch what he does off the ball, I think Kostic is going to be a left back. And if left back is not addressed in the last 4 days. I said on this channel multiple times, I did a coach's corner, he should not play left back. And I agree with that. I'm not backing away from that statement. But from what I've seen, what he does on the field, in a without the ball, out of possession, and what he does with the ball in possession, I can see him being a left back when Chiesa is ready to rock. Do I agree with that? No, because he can't defend to save his life. I remember against Sampdoria, in the 85th minute, they had a corner and he jumped like he was so bad. He was so bad. He jumped when he dove in, and Sampdoria, I forget what player it was. He drove past him and he got across, and I was like, I wanted to clip that and say that's my point proven that he can't defend. But I think Kostic is going to be a left back for this team, especially if we don't bring anybody in the last 4 days, and Sandro has an absolute brain fart, which he will, and he doesn't play well, which he won't. So I think Kostic is that guy. Again, my thoughts on it, I'm not too happy with it, but at the end of the day, they are constructing the roster, and as Misak, one of our members, has pointed out many a times, what I've pointed out many a times, is that Max Allegri is getting these players for himself. The club has not gotten a player for this team that was against Allegri's wishes this summer. Maybe Cambiasso, but he left. So we got Pogba, Di Maria. Well, I guess we have to get Bremer because it was a direct replacement. Kostic, Milik. Those are 5 players that, or at least 4 of them, that Max Allegri desperately wanted. It's up to him now, and he also he wants Paredes. So if that's another one that he's going to get. This is his team. These are his players. He's going to live and die with what he has now, that he brought in. I think, and we brought up the coaching situation, well, before I left, countless times. And it's very apparent that this is his last season, I think, if it goes downhill. If he reciprocates what happened last year, it's it's a tire fire, and we are all pissed again. But B, he's got to go because he's just brought in all aging players. The goal, or the what did management Carabini Arribene said, the goal was a 3-year window or period, rebuild, retool, whatever. Young players, trying to get Italian players. Either or. So if we're that plan is out the door with these signings. Di Maria 34, Pogba 29, Paredes 28, Milik 29, I don't even know. Kostic just turning 30 in November. Bremer's 25, but again, he was a replacement for De Ligt. And I guess he's young and he's coming up, but like Dave Corcoran is hilarious because he's a Manchester United fan and he's chirping Adrian Rabiot, but you guys got slapped 4-0 by Brentford. No, was it? Yeah, it was Brentford, right? I don't even remember. Some relegation fodder team. So that's jokes. Anyways, Master G says Di Maria is a placeholder for Chiesa. Is he? I think they're going to play at the same time, to be honest. When Chiesa's fit and ready. And when Di Maria's fit and ready. Okay, great. Liverpool, who cares? You guys lost 4-0 to Brentford. Oh my god. Anyway. So I don't think Chiesa has anything to do with Di Maria. But what is the plan here? What's the plan? And Alejandro's made note of this multiple times. He's saying the 3-year plan changes every transfer season or every transfer window we've had. Because in January it was young. Gatti, a younger Italian, Vlahovic, young, Zakaria, he was 24 at the time. Easy deal to make. So that made sense. Dave, you gotta pay the troll toll, Dave. The troll toll. We're paying Rabiot's wages for one more season. Like, who cares? He's gonna be a free agent. He's gonna leave. We don't care. You guys were almost stupid enough to buy him for 10 million euros a year or whatever it was. I don't know. Whatever. Pay the troll toll. Anyway, what's the plan now? The plan is that we got older this transfer window. Gabriel says, are we getting Paredes on a permanent or loan? It's a loan to start in principle, and then I don't know if it's option or obligation. It hasn't been totally sorted yet. I hope it's an option for Paredes. Sorry. Anyway, I think at this moment in time, is it a good mix of youth and veteran leadership? Let's take a look. The back line, old as shit. Danilo over 30, Bonucci way over 30, Alexandro over 30, Bremer 25. Old as shit. Midfield, that's where the youth starts to come in, and Moretti is demanding and stamping his place in the starting in a starting position in midfield. And then you have Locatelli, who's 23 or 24, younger. And then you have, I guess, Rabiot, 27. So they're still youth. And then you got Paredes coming in, like I said, 28. So there's no one really aging in that midfield, but it is sprinkled with a bit more youth, which is okay. So that makes sense. Then you go to the attack. Vlahovic, young stud. Chiesa, 25. He's 25, so he's not old. And then Di Maria is old. And then you think Milik, whatever, he's a backup, who cares? And then you think Keane, whatever, he's shite. So, I still don't know what the plan is. Was Zaniolo actually a thing? Also, we only have 50 likes. Not even 50 likes. Can we get more likes in here? A surprise Juventus signing will be had in this deadline week if we get to 100 likes. There's 73 people watching. So where do we go from here? Well, like I said, this is Allegri's team now, with Allegri players. And if that first half against Roma has anything to do with how we're going to play the rest of the season, you have to be... And again, keep in mind that the better players will be back from injury. So, let's say, if Chiesa, Di Maria, Pogba were playing yesterday, that game's 3-0 in the first 15 minutes. In my opinion. So, Di Maria scores that chance that Moretti gave Quadrado. I'm sorry, he does. Chiesa doesn't just cross every time he touches the ball like Kostic does. He drives and he goes and attacks defenders. He gets into their box. Once our team is at full fitness, which, again, how can you ever say when it will, or, with our luck, it's never going to be 100%. Once it comes to that, I think we're dangerous and we're scary, but at the same time, we can't get behind too far in the standings. Let's say Pogba, Di Maria, and Chiesa come back at match day 10, and we're already 10 points behind. I think we're screwed. I think we're screwed. So, if we're in touching distance by the time all three are ready to go, I think Serie A should look out. But until then, we got to keep up the pace with what we got, and we got to hope. So after 3 match days, by the way, no team is 3-0. First place, there's 6 teams on 7 points, and we're at 5, and Inter's at 6. So after the 3 first match days, it's very close already. Black's asking, what do you think about the Champions League? What do I think? You don't want to know what I think. I think we might win the Europa League. And then Sherman's asking me predictions for PSG game. Oh my goodness. Honestly, if Allegri's going to watch one game outside of Serie A, and he watches what Monaco did today to PSG, he better watch that game tape, because Monaco made PSG look not. Obviously, PSG dominated the ball and dominated the game, but they made PSG look like they weren't dominating in a Farmers League. So, if Allegri just saves the tape from today, what Monaco did, and does it September 6th, I'm not going to say we have, I'm not saying we're going to win, but I'm saying we're not going to lose 4-5-0. Because again, PSG has Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, Verratti, Marquinhos, Hakimi, just studs. And we won't have Chiesa and Pogba. And we might not have Di Maria. So, what we saw against Roma, that starting 11, is what we might see against PSG. Is that going to screw with PSG? If we play compact, defensive, classic Allegri ball, sure, we won't get caved. But, damn, it's gonna be interesting. I'm more nervous for the Benfica games, because not that Benfica are some crazy team, but that's our bogey team in Europe, and They're going to have some young players. Like, they do have young players. I know they have young players. Like, Enzo Fernandez is crazy good. Their center midfielder. he's like 19, and he scored 3 goals in the first 3 games of the season. And they're all like bangers. So, watch out for Enzo Fernandez for Benfica. But that's Juventus' bogey team in Europe. So, it's going to be tough. And then, obviously, you got to play Maccabi Tel Aviv. That should be 6. That has to be 6 points. Not should. That has to be 6 points. If you win and draw against Benfica, then you're most likely in. Doesn't matter what you do against PSG. Usually, if you get 10 points in the Champions League, you're good to go to the next round. So, the main games are against Benfica. And I know that's putting us down a bit, saying, "Oh, you're not." You're negative, blah, blah, blah. We can't beat PSG because you think we are shit. Well, like, are we as good as PSG? That's a top 3 team in the world. Especially with a proper coach now, with Galtier. Daniela Bucci saying we need max points against Maccabi. Yeah, exactly. I think you need max points against Maccabi, and then you need max points against, or you need 4 points against Benfica, and you're good to go. I know I saw some other comments, but I'm going to open it up to the floor again, to the comment, or whoever's watching. There's 75 people watching, only 51 likes. It's very disappointing. I guess nobody wants a random deadline day signing, so I can't help anything about that. But if you guys have anything to ask, I will answer it. Anything about the Mercato, I will answer it to my best of my abilities, and I'll give you my thoughts. And we're going to do this for about 8 more minutes, and then I got to go. But I'll be back on the channel. I'm back after 2 weeks off. You saw a lot of Daniello the past 2 weeks, one of our members. Who else did I see? I think I saw Misak. No, did I see Misak on? Yeah, I think I saw Misak. I saw Stephanie on, one of our members. And I saw Giuseppe, another one of our members. Dave Corcoran, I know I take the piss out of Man United a lot, but you know what? You're a legend for liking and sharing, so good for you, Dave. And I agree with you, Glazer's out. Sam Love is saying Zaniolo. I'm going to say no. I'll keep it simple as that. Not because I don't want him, just because I don't think we're going to go in for him with 4 days left. Especially if Roma can't get a replacement, which I don't think they will. Or can. Olaf is saying, do you think Danilo is still good enough, and what are your opinions of Kostic so far? So I think Danilo could be a decent to fair backup. He can do a job against Salernitana. If we're serious about competing in Europe again one day, if we're serious about winning Serie A by a lot and dominate again, he ain't it. And then Kostic, he's exactly as I advertised. He is not a needle mover. He is a player who costs 15 million euros, and there's a reason why he only costs 15 million euros as a Europa League player this season. And don't tell me he's playing out of position. Don't tell me this. Don't tell me that. He gets the ball, he crosses, and he loses the ball possession. And I said that in my coach's corner. It was a desperation move. Not desperation. It was a move to supplant Chiesa for now until he's back. That's all I can say on Kostic. Shervin saying, do you think that we will buy Borna Sosa? I hope. That would be a good left back to get. I actually talked to one of my Croatian buddies this past weekend, and he is more than thrilled about Borna Sosa. And I've watched him a couple times out in Germany there. And he's been good. But again, is that the type of player we're going to go for? I don't think so. I would love for us to go and get him, though. Over Artist saying, I would love another right winger. Yeah. Ziad is saying, who's the additional position you think will get signing? A left back. I hope we get a left back, if I'm going to be honest. Or, you know what? I really wanted Depay, but now I think our attack is pretty much done. Di Maria, Kostic, Chiesa, Vlahovic, Keane, Milik. I mean, I think it's going to be a left back. If anything. Daniello saying, what are our options for left back? I've been out of the loop past couple days. A lot of us were saying Lodi, running Lodi, but obviously he went to go watch Nottingham Forest lose to Tottenham today, and he's going to go sign for them for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't. What's the thought process there? I said before I went on my vacation that Ferland Mendy would be interesting from Real Madrid. I saw Real Madrid started today with Rudiger beside Militao and Alaba as the left back, which I said was going to happen, and it happened, and now Mendy doesn't start. So I want Mendy. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Ziad saying Bastoni from Spezia was on the radar. Yeah, he was. Honestly, if he has a barn burner on Wednesday against us, maybe we say, hey, just stay here. Don't go back on the bus. That'd be pretty funny. Olaf are saying, are Juventus genuinely this broke, or are the management just cheap? I'm going to say that the club itself is broke. The owners are rich. The financial fair play situation we are in means we're broke. So are we actually broke? No. Are we, in the grand scheme of things, broke because of financial fair play and what the club makes? Yes. Just think of it this way. If we were rich, or if we were funded by Exor, like, definitely, like, no matter what, like how the Sheiks run Man City, if we were funded like that by Exor, we would be buying like Man City. We would be buying like the Glazers and Man United. Because we have that financial pull. But we're run strictly through what the club makes. So we were able to buy some players this year because we sold the lit. It's a situation where you don't agree, you do agree, whatever your prerogative is, that's the situation we're in. Dave Corcoran says Sosa is a baller. I agree. Tashiknam is saying thought process. Dollar. I don't know what that means. And then Dave says Lodi has joined Forest for the same reason as Jesse Lingard. Dollar. I see what they're saying. Okay. Yeah. But again, you could play Champions League. Olaf is saying, how many years until Juve are as good as they were about 18-19? I think Juventus will be back to where they are, or where they were. Honestly, it's too hard to tell at this point because we need to know what Chiesa is going to be. Because if Chiesa comes back as the same player he was, this team could be scary. Especially if Pogba is hitting on all levels. It could be scary. We just need to sort the defense, and then we'll be back in. Like, this defense is not good enough to compete in Europe. But if we get or a couple of good defenders in the next two windows, sky's the limit, honestly. Like, we're not far away. That's my opinion. When we're not injured and we can get two more signings in defense, we're not far away from competing in Europe. Sam Levis saying Allegri family doesn't contribute. So I think you meant Agnelli's. So the Agnelli family contributes, but so what happened was Juventus went through the pandemic, as every other team did. Lost a bunch of money. Went to big deficits. The Agnelli family came through from Exor to pay all that debt away. They did not pay. They did not give the management money to say, "Hey, go buy these players." Except for Vlahovic, but I think Vlahovic is being funded by other stuff. But we gotta understand how our club works. If Juventus makes money and they're not in the red, then they'll spend money. But we're in the red right now. Black saying AI gave Salzburg a better chance of reaching the final. Wow. That's bad. That's not good. Hip Priest is saying, I think Nottingham Forest has spent more than City has this window. They have. And then he goes on to say, Orshi, we're not far away quality-wise, but Allegri's out of ideas. BLE, at the current progression rate, we need 2-3 more years. Tashitnam is saying, Pogba's such a risk now. Fingers crossed the physio work can make his knee hold. Otherwise, next injury probably means surgery and 5 months out. Yes, that is the scare. Olaf is saying, I agree. New right back, left back, center back, apart from the midfield and attack is pretty solid. Sam is saying, thank you. Crazy Ray saying, did you see Anthony for 100 mil? I did see that. 95 million plus 5 in bonuses for Anthony from Ajax to Man United is a done deal. Good for them. I think Man United have sold one player this season, and it was Andreas Pereira to Fulham for 9.5 million euros. They've bought Casemiro for 70, Anthony now for 100, Malacia for 12, Lisandro Martinez for 60 or something, Eriksson on a free, and they sold one player for 9.5 million euros. How sweet the Premier League money is. Anyway, if the stars align, says Khalid, Pogba, Di Maria, Chiesa could save Allegri's career at Juventus. Absolutely. Like, again, the players that we have out right now, it's crazy. Imagine. Okay, so let's go to Napoli for a second. No, they don't have good players like that. Let's go to Inter Milan for a second. Let's say they're missing Martinez, Barella, one of the center backs, and Denzel Dumfries. How well would Inter do if they're missing those 4 players? You know what I mean? This is what we're dealing with right now. And again, we've conceded 1 goal in 3 games. We're not playing the best, but at the same time, we're dealing with a lot of shit. So when those players come back, I expect it to be better. Sam says we don't have a starting 11 or 13. We need to establish a system of roles and defensive play. Yeah. There needs to be a style of play. I still, after a year and 3 games, I still don't think there's a style of play. So, I don't think Allegri necessarily has a style of play. I think it's just pragmatism, as some people on social media call it, terror ball. So, I don't know. Khalid saying, Inter have their top team, by the way, all the time. Juve's top team is much better. And this is kind of my point. I said 20 minutes ago, if Juventus had their top player, or if we're by match day 10 within 3 points of first, and all these players come back fit and raring to go, I think we should win Serie A. If we're 10 points behind by match day 10, I don't think we're going to win. But the quality we have out is crazy. So I think, unless anybody has another question or anything else they want to bring up, I'm going to end it there because, again, I'm back. I'm going to be doing a lot this next week. Oh, I forgot to say what I was teasing this whole time. A little treat for everybody here at the channel who subscribe to it, at least. There's 65 of you now, so I'm going to announce it anyway. On Thursday, I'm going to be doing a deadline day show for 7 hours, starting at 10 a.m. my time, going to 5 p.m. So basically, the bell, or the end of the transfer window. For 7 hours, I'll be on here live. I'm going to be inviting people on to talk and do hits with me. And we're just going to be announcing deals throughout the day, how it affects Juventus, how it does other stuff throughout Serie A. And I'm going to be on here for 7 hours. So that's a little treat for everybody here. I think we're at, how many subscribers now? 3,300? Hold on. Yeah, we're almost at 3,400 subscribers. So there you go, Khalid. Maybe he'll call in. Perfect. Are you? Yeah, I think you're a member. I can't see because you're not green on my screen. But if you're a member, and I guess this is a good time to bring this up. If you're a member, if you want to be a member, you have the ability to call in on this deadline day show, and we can discuss for a couple minutes here or there, and then we'll move on to the next one. So this is how you become a member. €5, €3.50, €2.25, whatever. Is that dollars? I thought it was in euros. Anyways, it's in dollars. So that's how much it costs to become a member. But you have the ability for all those things, as you can see, whatever's listed there. And days like Thursday, deadline day, you have the ability to come on the channel and give your opinions. And it's a good time. So again, take that away now. Oops. So again, deadline day show Thursday. It's going to be 7 hours, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. when it closes. We're going to be talking everything about all the deals, not just Juventus, not just Serie A ones. So stay tuned for that. Be sure to follow the Bianconeri Zone on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Bianconeri Zone. Follow myself, if you haven't already, at Gennady151 on Twitter. Follow Justin at Justin Sofro on Twitter. Follow Alejandro at AlejandroBZ on Twitter. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We got 60 likes. You know what? I'll accept 60 likes for today, just because I'm really tired. And it's the first one back. So I'll see you tomorrow. I think I'm going to be back for a live. And the Arcadius Milik Coach's Corner will be out tomorrow probably as well. Oh, we got a dislike. Ooh, boo. Interfan 69. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time. Ciao. Peace out. Have a good day.